What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good?
Hey, hey, hey.
We are live and ready to go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TJ. Welcome to a fresh episode of 100% Real Talk. As you already know, we got to send out the notifications and everything to get people to know that we are live right now, because I know for the past couple of days we have been out of it. We've been busy and everything, so uh, if you guys can bear with us just for a second. And while we're doing that, while we're getting things set up, of course, I always give my lovely wife here, a chance um, to speak about her business and everything, about what's going on. So, dear, if you want to chime in and to get with the people to let them know, about your business and everything.
Well, what's going on, good peoples? It's your girl, Just Lady K, in the building. No, what's going on, good peoples? We are back once again. So, as he said, yes, I do have a business, which is the Final Touch Jewels by way of Paparazzi, where we sell $5 bling and $25 bling, depending on which statement you're trying to make. What look you're trying to have is going to determine which category you want to jump in. So listen, you can always follow me on Facebook or on Instagram at The Final Touch Jewels, as well as TikTok and as well as YouTube. You can go ahead and run a YouTube and subscribe. But listen, we are here for another episode of TJ's 100% Real Talk. So I ain't going to take up all the time. I ain't going to take it all up. But listen. We ready to get started if y'all are. So come on into the room.
Come on in.
Talk to us when you come in. Leave a comment. Let us know you're there. Y'all know how we do it. We have interaction. So when you leave comments, your comments will be read out loud. And of course, if you try to leave any foolishness, you will get the boot. The B-O-O-T. The boot with the combination of a block if we have to. So listen. Invite your friends, tell your fam that your favorite crew, your couple is on. Bro, TJ. Nah, it's your boy and your girl, your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your niece.
Everything.
We so as y'all come on in, talk to us, holler at us, let us know you are here. We are going to talk about tonight what it's like to take care of a loved one that has health issues. And y'all know we've been on relationships this whole season. So this is part of relationships. Hey. Welcome. Those of you chiming in on Facebook. All right, now pay attention to the road, ma'am. Thank you very much. Got a Veritas, she on, but she driving. I'm gonna need you to pay attention to the road. Listen. We are going to talk, and then whichever way God leads us. We have been trying to get this episode talked about, but we've been having to push it back, or push it further down the line, whatever term you're supposed to use it to say. All with because somebody was having health issues. So
right.
I guess now it's time that we can talk. Plus, we got another topic sent to us for a discussion called how did she say it? Single and saved, but the streets be calling. So we probably gonna talk about that too, because we was both single at one point. So we know we can chime in on that one.
Yeah,
that's gonna be very interesting. And hopefully she will be able to chime in on that episode too. So listen, if y'all aren't able to get on now, always watch the replay, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can still comment on either one of those at the time, and we will try our best to respond back to you if we're not able to respond, if it's after the live. Well, at least he will if you respond on YouTube. I don't have the access to respond.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh, there it is.
I mean, I can respond on YouTube, but not answer underneath the page name meaning. But We
Sorry,
read
y'all.
it. He didn't send out his notifications, and I see things are going out. So listen, whether you chime in on Facebook, if you have not already, subscribe to us on
Please subscribe, y'all.
YouTube. Please subscribe to
Please
his channel,
subscribe.
TJ's 100% Real Talk on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And listen, help us build this page and help us keep pushing and keep going. And anytime y'all have topic suggestions, please feel free to send them to us. So whenever he's ready to get started, we will kick it in. So I don't even know if the person who asked for this topic is on right now. I'm not sure if she's actually someone that sells jewelry also, so she could be possibly doing her live or getting ready for her jewelry live sale. But she can always watch the replay. So we'll definitely get into that first topic or first question. Excuse me, I'm about to question. I'm getting tongue tied already. But and then we'll go. Y'all know how we go, however God leads us in whichever direction he has us to go. So we just pray that this episode be a blessing to somebody. Amen.
Already. And just to echo my wife, like I said, I appreciate everyone for joining in. And of course, with this episode, of course, the first topic that we're getting into is how do we live with how do we live with loved ones while they're sick or going through an illness. But I know she was saying
It was
something
how to
earlier
keep
too.
the relationship healthy or how to keep the relationship strong when caring for a loved one that has medical issues.
Yeah. So yes. So we care for issues, but then too, from my understanding, what she was saying also was too how to keep the relationship when I think caring for parents. She put that out there because I believe she's caring for her parent.
Mhm.
So that's actually two different subjects. Because again, my wife is helping me right now because of my conditioning with my kidneys and everything, and me pushing through, which is a lot of weight on her. Also, my mother is living with me now, and she's helping us out, which is a blessing. Of course, I didn't ask. My mom just said that she was, that God spoke to her and said, "Hey, help with taking care of your son." And I know some days are harder than others because with the kids and everything. So I mean, it's pretty hard. But as far as with someone who excuse me, y'all, who so far as someone who is taking care of a loved one, as far as husband and wife and how to keep the fire sparking while taking care of a loved one, I know that is also pretty difficult, and I know that it could be pretty difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing. um well, first let's start about talking about the first one, which is taking care of a I would say taking care of a spouse, of a spouse that's sick and that needs support or anything like that. Like and I would actually ask my wife about this because well, actually no, what me and my wife, we had in our marriage, we had two separate times where we had to take care of one another. uh when she after her C-sections, she would have I remember days where I had to she had to rest up, and I remember days where I had to help, I had to clean, cook, and, take care of the kids while she was healing. And it is difficult during that time when your spouse is trying to heal or when they're trying to get better. uh I know the first time, I know with in my wife's condition, the only time that she really just been down was during the C sections. But I mean, it wasn't long. I would say maybe a week or so. Then she'll try to move around herself. But even though during that time, of course, I would have to, drive and do things to take care of things while she's sitting out. And when it is on one person to try to take care of everything, it is difficult. And now, now with me going through this, the only difference is, my wife recovered. She recovered quickly, but with me, it's taking me time to recover. It's all in God's hands. uh He's moving, by its power, but it's still taking me time to recover. And right now, unfortunately, I can't lift anything because of the hernia. I can't, move forward or anything like that because of I can't move anything because of the hernia. And of course, I have to have surgery. But that puts a lot of pressure on my wife. And as far as it also puts a lot of pressure on my mother as well because they're both trying to help. And I don't sit around trying not to do nothing. They have to continuously stop me from doing stuff because I still want to help and I still want to do. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the guilt gets to me when I see people who I love. When I was taught to raise to, hey, I'm supposed to be the one doing things that, I see them doing everything and I see how tired they are. And, I just want to be like, man, you know what? I need to get up and do something. But then the hernia starts hurting. I'm like, oh man, I can't move. Then I'm down. So it's like God is just saying, hey, you got to sit back until you get healed and become better, because at the end of the day, I need you to spread the word, and I can't have you serving me and everything, and you can't move. So you don't want to injure yourself even further. So I'm learning on how to accept my wife to help. You can ask my wife. Sometimes I don't even want to ask her for help. I'll call my sons before I call her. And I'll do that and everything. That's why she cried right now, because I'll be doing that. But I'll call my sons. I'll be like, son, y'all come here. And I won't mess with her or ask her, but then she'll go around and say, what do you want? Just let me go get it, And it's just hard for me. It's hard for me to just do that. But, I know how I see how hard it is and everything when one person is down and the other person is pushing, and you just got to continue to learn and know that that, hey, it's a time, it's a process for everything. But I'm learning to humble myself and to say, hey, you know what, allow them to help you, because that's the only way you're going to get better. So at this time, you'll be able to get better, and once you get better, then you'll be able to help out more. You want to add to that, baby?
Let me just make a correction. It wasn't just 2 times. I've had 4 C-sections. Okay.
Yes, yeah, 4.
4.
Yeah,
but I have had 4. And those have been the only times that he has had to, thanks be to God, to take care of him, to the point that I could not do anything when I was down and out, or when I was ill. Or that wasn't even necessarily ill. That was, a sickness that was being healed from surgery, or healing from surgery. That was the main. And then every time after each C-section, or the next one was easier. The next one was easier. The one after that was easier. And that's I moved around a little bit faster or quicker, after every time I had one. And maybe that was probably because I spaced it out enough, or we spaced it out enough before we had another child that gave my body time to heal. Now, the very first one, that one was hard. That one was hard and scary. And it was a little different, just because that was the first one and I'm not used to being still. But otherwise, the next C-section after that, and the one after that, and the one after that, those all got easier. And I think the last one, I was up moving around within a week, a little bit less, I wasn't even taking pain meds. Or if I did, it was something light. It wasn't really, the one that they prescribed, the good. It wasn't the one that knock you out, that hydro. It wasn't that one. So that's just thanks be to God. But as far as taking care of a spouse, there's been, of course, besides your normal just colds and stuff or whatever, not counting those, we're talking about like major medical issues, major health issues. Touch your stuff.
I'm sorry, y'all. I saw something and I needed to fix that. I'm sorry.
And that was because my behind tried to squeeze behind him and my butt hit the letters. Anyway, that the only, it's been twice. with his actually not twice, it's been more than that. But the last two were the ones when he had his ACL surgery and
Oh
meniscus
yeah,
surgery.
that one was
Boy, picking
that
up
one was
this big
difficult.
old booger. I mean, it was much bigger than this. And it wasn't necessarily saying like he was extremely big and nothing like that. No, it's just he's taller than me.
Mhm.
And because he's taller than me, some things were a little bit more difficult, but I wasn't finna let him know that.
Right.
So I still did what I had to do to get him moved around or whatever. And then it's the leg that you normally, your right leg, your driving leg,
Right.
and the leg you probably use the most out of everything. So that being through that or going through that to take care of him wasn't an issue. And I think probably because I've had to do it before with my
Mhm.
mom many years ago. Uh, when she had breast cancer back in I think it was 2002 or 2005. When she had breast cancer back then, we had to take care of her.
Mm.
And I saw her pass out on the floor. She passed out in front of me. You know, she was extremely weak. So I've been there. So it didn't, I guess it made it easy
Yeah.
because I already, okay, mentally wise, let me be strong for this person because this person can't, they already have to deal with the fact that they can't do anything, especially when they're used to moving around, used to doing stuff,
Man.
or wanting to do whatever. So with that ACL surgery, that was one of the hardest, one the hardest. This one is probably the hardest only because as far as no, it doesn't pull too much on me or nothing like that, or I have a problem with doing it. No, it's a longer time.
Yeah.
And after a while, that person themselves, the people around them, they go, the family, everybody gets affected.
Mhm.
And that's the thing when you're dealing with people with health issues, especially when they're in the same household as you, everybody gets affected in some type of way.
Right.
Everybody has an experience with it in some type of way.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
Y'all, he done knocked down the camera. So y'all on Facebook. Oh, you know what? You can move that out the way.
Yeah, that's what knocked it down. Keep
talking,
talking.
So you got to readjust the Facebook camera. Accidentally knocked it down. But anywho, so being able to, having to take care of someone, adjust the camera, make it straight, make the camera straight. Yeah. Having to take care of someone. Yeah. Thank you. Being able to have to take care of someone with health issues. Like I said, it affects everybody in different ways. The person that's dealing with the issue themselves, they're going through. You can just put over there. They're going through, probably the most bulk of it, and it's not to try to say, "Well, I'm the one dealing with it, so you should be okay." That's not true. The person that's doing the care, they go through it. Those that affect children get affected. Because there are things that they see that they can't do anymore, things that they wish they could, or things. It's an adjustment for the whole family. And my thing to keep going, or my thing to deal with it, because trust me, there were times I got irritated, there are times I got frustrated, there are times I was tired. There was times that I want to be like, bruh, I just wanted to do something else, like, you know what, just let me get away. Let me go do something. You have all of those moments, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you don't care. That doesn't mean you don't love them. That doesn't mean that it's anything negative or anything like that. No, it's just sometimes you have to step back and regroup yourself. Sometimes you have to step back and get recharged. You got to step back and get energy. You got to step back and clear your mind. You got to step back and take a moment for yourself. There will be situations and times that you can't, it's not like you could just leave that person completely, depending on whatever their health issues are. Just leave it. I'll get it. I'll get it later. That you can just leave them completely, even if you're in the same household. Try to take a moment, come up with a schedule or something to take a time for just a minute, whether by yourself, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, that is to yourself, that you're doing something for you, that you're taking a minute to relax, whether it's to watch a favorite show or something, to go read a book, listen to music, to go pray, whatever it is. Just take a moment for yourself, because you give. You got to have a moment to refill. You got to have a moment to recharge.
Yep.
And if you don't take that time to do that, then you can lose yourself in it. You can go crazy. You can get irritated. Start going off on people. Start going off on the wrong people because you're dealing with stuff that you haven't dealt with, that you haven't faced, that you haven't accepted, or whatever. And you can lash out on people. You can do, and it's not just, and this is just in life, period. It ain't even necessarily just about taking care of a loved one, but you can allow the things that you deal with to cause you to not show love, to cause you to be mean, to cause you to be rough on people when it's not necessary. Yes. Hold on. Miss Barbara commented and said, as someone who took care of both sets of parents and everyone except myself, but what I did was to give myself an hour to myself. See, so that's the thing. Take care, just get a moment.
Right.
uh Whether you can a day, every day, or if it's once a week, or set aside one whole day to say that this is just for you. Whether you go walk the mall or you go walk a store or something, you don't necessarily have to buy anything. It's just take a moment to regroup, take a moment to recharge, because you can drive yourself crazy and you can run yourself down. You can allow too much stress and too much issues when you're not dealing with it, or you don't face it. Give yourself time that you can cause health issues on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of problems that a lot of us in Black folks in our community, that a lot of times, just people, period, that we allow stress is the number one silent killer.
Number one.
And
The number one.
if you don't take time to do that, to release that stress and regroup, then it can weigh you down. You'll start feeling issues yourself. You'll start having medical issues yourself.
I'm telling you.
And then how you gonna take care of the other person? You know that you're supposed to be taken care of.
Man.
But it has definitely been and accept help.
Yeah, you gotta
accept help from other people. Don't think that you always have to do it, or that it's just you. If you can, sometimes it is, but if you can, get help. If you can't, accept help. It was kind of hard for me to have my mother-in-law here, and that she taking care of the things, that she taking care of my spouse. She's taking care of the kids. She's taking care of the house. But then I'm at work all day, and I have to keep remembering that you can't. It's not like you can't. You can't be hard on yourself because you at work all doggone day and you can't help that.
And let me, before you continue with that, let me tell you why it's a blessing. Because before my mom came over here, let me tell you what I was doing. And this is, I'm not putting no blame on nobody. I'm just saying, beforehand, when I first got on dialysis, I was told by my nurse that I was not allowed to pick up over 25 pounds. Well, first of all, that got to me anyway, because I couldn't no longer pick up my son. That affected me deeply and mentally. There were some days that Samuel was staying next to me and I would cry. And of course, Carla didn't know this because she was at work, but I would cry because of the fact that I couldn't pick up my son. And so that affected me. And, I was like, you know what? Okay, then I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm gonna keep pressing forward, and I'm like, man, I got to do something. And so some days I was still trying to press forward to go to work. Every day I was going, I was feeling worse and worse every day. I didn't tell her that, but every day I was feeling worse. Until one day at work, I passed out. I went in, I passed out, didn't know what happened. Don't even remember passing out, but I passed out. And the next thing I woke up, they said that I was out for like 45 minutes, but I passed out. Woke up. The first thing I said was, "Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up," because I didn't even know I passed out. And my supervisor was like, "Hey, you got to take care of yourself because you're overdoing it." See, what I was trying to do was, I was not trying to slow down. It didn't, even though my body was saying, "Hey, you need to slow down. You need to slow down." I wasn't listening to my body, and because I wasn't. I was getting worse every day. Then guess what? God said, "Okay, so you don't want to listen." Guess what ended up happening? I ended up trying to lift heavy stuff, still trying to be Mr. TJ. Now I had a hernia. Now, in a hernia, once you get that, you can't lift nothing. Right now, I can barely lift anything. And even if I try to lift something later on, I'm going to feel it. Even if I stand up too long, if I try to run to do certain moves or certain stretches.
That's why I was just telling
you know,
him when the stuff fell down that I get it, but he wanted to be your head and go get it. Because you got to remember that it's not just the lifting, it's the stretching and the pulling too.
And we don't realize how often we use our abs, but right now mine is torn, and that's what a hernia means, is that your ab muscles have been torn and that your intestines is coming through. That's what it means. And because it's doing it, it's stretching the skin and stretching everything, and the muscles are hurt. And I'm gonna tell y'all, the cramps that come from this mess, I'm gonna tell you right now, it feels like someone. I think I told my wife, I said, man, I wonder, is this how? I wonder if this how? What is that? What was I? Ah, man. I wonder if this how, when women go through their
the menstrual cycle.
No, not the cycles, but when they're having a kid, and this is how the contractions feel. Sorry, y'all, I got tongue tied. So I was like, man, and it wasn't me being arrogant or prideful. It was the fact that I can't stop. At that point, I didn't have somebody here to help. I had to get my kids together for school. Had to get up there, pick them up from school. My daily routine was go to work, 8 hours, get off work, don't go home to rest. Go straight, get Jeremiah, sit in line. After that, go straight, get the boys up from my mother-in-law's. Then after that, go back, pick up Josh, then go home. By the time I get home, it'll be 4:30. Then get ready to cook dinner. And do all that stuff. I was doing that every day while I was sick. And what ended up happening, God would say, okay, TJ, you're not listening. And that's when the hurting came, and he just shut everything down.
And listen, y'all can talk so much, as far as you can say so much to the person that you're caring for, because you see it and you try to tell them, but it's like, okay, you're going one ear out the other, or they still want to be hard-headed. That sometimes after you've said it once or twice, it's just like, look, they got to learn on their own. And it's not to be mean or funny, but it's just to say for them to understand, or they might have to hear it from somebody else. I don't know how many times I've had to hear him come back and tell me that, somebody told him this when I was like, dude, I just told you that 2 weeks ago, or I told you that a month ago. And now you want to listen because somebody else, but you have to remember, you can't take it personal. And you have to remember that it's beyond them, just not necessarily that they're not listening to you. It's that they're processing.
Yeah.
That they're going through the motions. They're going through the things that they're dealing with and having to face that and gotta deal with the fact that, and that's why I had to keep reminding myself ever since this happened, I've had to remind myself that look at it from his perspective. And I don't even think I told him this, but I had a dream for some reason when this really first started, like within that first month or so, that I had to get on dialysis. And it was like God allowed me to experience it in that dream just to see, okay, look, this is his perspective. This is what he's dealing with. Yes, you're the one taking care of it, but I need you to see that they have their own battle. They have their own medical battle that they're dealing with, and it goes beyond just what they feel in the physical. It goes into the mind. It deals with your spirit. You got all of these things going on when you're the one dealing with the medical issue, with the health issue. Yes, the caretaker, the one who's giving it all, and they're doing what they need to do to help nurse this person back, or to just take care of, make sure that they eat, clean, set up their stuff, or whatever it is you need to do, change bandages, whatever it is. You can't forget that this person is still dealing with stuff. Even though it wanted to be many a times, I wanted to say, dude, the stuff that I was doing, I was like, man, you can do that. And some stuff I purposely didn't do to make him do it. That way he can see, okay, well, I can't do this, but I can do this. Or let's do it together. So lately, which I don't even think he even realized it, I purposely haven't set up his whole treatments. I've only put the bags on there because he can't pick them up. And now it's just to say, okay, we're working. And my point of doing it was to say we're working together doing this. So you can at least do the tubing or whatever. I put the cassette thing in there for the tubing. You can at least do that. I got the first part, but and you do the rest of it. To just share the load. In other words, share the load.
I wasn't trying to.
No, that wasn't the point. I didn't know he was
No, I
going to say
wouldn't.
something.
I wouldn't, because even with the bags, I was carrying. Even though I know, just like my auntie said, God will sit you down. He did it for me out of love, and that's what I really believe. What God did for me, He set me down, because I didn't want my wife stressed out. See, the type of person I am is I don't like putting stress on people because of me. But I like for people to live their lives and to do what they love to do, because I know I would want that for me. You know what I'm saying? And with the bags, I know, and I was picking up those boxes. And one day, my wife was like,
boxes are, just to get y'all in perspective,
heavy, man.
These boxes are 30 pounds.
Yeah, and
it tell you on the box that it's 30 pound boxes.
I was lifting them up.
And it's the bag thing themselves that has the treatment in it. Those are like 15 pounds each, or like 12 pounds each.
Heavy, man.
It's heavy. Big, and you got to think about the box that is in too, or whatever. But yeah, that stuff is heavy, and you don't think about it.
I didn't, and I really believe that's where the hernia got worse, because I was consistently lifting those bags every day, carrying around, trying to set up stuff and everything. And I was just doing stuff like the norm. I was still trying to take out the trash, still doing stuff. And my wife would look at me crazy. She'd be like, really? And
I would, because I always knew that, okay, you're going beyond your limit, or I'm seeing you. You don't see you. I see you. Right. I see how you're looking on the outside. And I had to, and then one way that I was able to process it and deal with some things, I had to change my perspective, to say that I looked at it as, I remember standing in the room one night, and I was almost irritated and frustrated, like, man, forget this. But God was like, look, it's not going to last long. This is not forever.
Right.
So I had to, my perspective was that every time I set those bags down on that machine, that's one less time I got to do it, because it's getting closer to his healing. Whatever way that God is manifesting his healing, I had to take it to that point to, one, help my mind so I don't lose my mind, or that I don't go crazy or say something out of line or whatever, because I had to remember that it's a push.
Right. It's
a push. And then this is what they say, true sickness in health. In sickness and in health, when you're doing your vows and stuff or whatever. And I've had to learn that, and I get tired, because people are, man, you a strong woman. Who you strong? You naturally strong, and as far as being able to handle things, physically to a certain point, but not like that. And you get tired of hearing that. Right. Strong people get tired of hearing that. Or people that you say are strong get tired of hearing that sometimes. And be like, dude, we break too. We have times that it weighs on us so much too. And I know I have a problem with carrying extra loads for no reason. And that's why it was hard to watch my mother-in-law move in and help, and to help the kids to cook and all that. And I was like, Lord, man. I was like, you know what? And then God is like, this is kind of your break. This is regroup, because it was too much. Pull it, share the load. It's okay. She understands what her assignment is while she's here. And that doesn't mean that it's gonna last long. Yeah, it's a push every day. And people don't realize it. And I remember I had to let a couple of people know a few weeks ago. It's like, dude, don't nitpick at me, at one thing that I might be doing when you have no clue of what I'm dealing with every day on a daily basis. And we have to remember that. No problem, Lady Sabrina, just catch the replay. Blessings to you. So you just got to remember that people are always dealing with stuff, and you never know what they're dealing with. And it's everybody that's involved. It's the person that's dealing with the health issue, and the ones that are around them, the loved ones that they're surrounded with, in some type of way. The kids were even affected. The kids
Oh
got
yeah.
affected. It's been several times. Mom, is daddy okay? Mom, can daddy do this? Or can we go here? Can we go there? And I have to say, no, we can't because daddy's not able to do that. Daddy can't do that right now. Or could Will want to go do that or whatever. And this was early on when all of this first started. Um, so now it makes us now be creative on where we go.
Yeah.
To do things that we can do that'll everybody will enjoy. Everybody can have fun. So it's a time to, as I said, to put your energy, yes, into it, but don't allow it to overtake you when you're the caretaker. Don't allow it to overtake you. Make sure you take some time for yourself. Like Ms. Barbara said, she took an hour a day when she was taking care of her parents. And there's someone else that I know of that she's taking care of her mom right now too. And I see her, stressed out and irritated and stuff, but she love her. And we do it all out of love. And we don't blame you guys because we know that you all are dealing with that.
Right.
We know that the health issues aren't your fault. So please don't think it's your fault. Because of where I work, there have been several times that we have received calls about suicide. About one person even did it over the phone, the last one a couple of years ago. That was the first thing out their mouths was that I'm a burden to my family because I got all these medical issues, and they took themselves out right over the phone.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to remember that person that has some health issues, they see you too.
Yep.
They see you too. They haven't forgotten about you, just as God has not forgotten about you. God sees both of you, and God is working. God is taking care of both of you if you allow him to. Yeah. He understands that it's a daily push, but God won't put more on you than you can bear. And that's facts. Now, a lot of times we add extra stuff. Like I said a few minutes ago, sometimes I would carry extra burdens that I didn't need to carry, extra loads, or make things my responsibility that I didn't need to make mine. So we just got to remember that as long as we have God with us and God leading us and guiding us, one, he always said, he promised in his word, he will never leave you nor forsake you. He won't put more on you than you can bear. He's always there. And that in the end, all things are working together for your good. No matter how frustrating it gets, no matter how hard it gets, in the end, it's working. It's the purpose for it. It's the reason for it. We don't feel it. We don't understand it sometimes when we're in the midst of it. And sometimes it's hard to get it, that understanding, as we've been in it so long, or depending on what it is. But I promise you, at times in the end, it's going to work out. Because the same place he was last year, he's not in the same place he was. No. Mentally, physically. It hit April 1st was a year when we first got the news that he had to go into the hospital.
Yeah, right about this time I was in the hospital actually.
Yeah, it was mad. It was one of the Facebook memories posted showing the video and the pictures of us coming to the house yesterday. I think it was yesterday I saw those pictures that we were coming home. So to see where we are now, based off of where he was a year ago, I mean, God has blown.
Yeah,
God has blown our minds. God has done.
I'll tell you the truth. I am alive today because of God, because I honestly believe that if I did not have the faith that I did in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I probably would have died before 2022 happened. Because the time that was scared me the most was when I couldn't stop these jerks that I had during Christmas. And that was so hard on my kids because it was right after Christmas. And that on December 26th, my body was just shutting down. Couldn't do nothing. I didn't know what was going on. And I became very concerned. I was like, God, what is going on?
And it scared the mess out of me.
So, I mean, even
it scared the mess out of me, Lord. But I had to, even though, I don't even know if he even saw me, even though I started shedding tears, because of it was these all of a sudden just twitches, and they were hard. So it was there. I mean, they were hard twitches, and it was just like, dude, like what in the world is going on? And then you try to stay focused and be like, no, don't let him see you, cry. Don't let him see this happen. No, he don't. Because remember, he's the one dealing with it. You got to be there. You got to be the rock right now, and you got to be strong to help him get through it, because it's easy for emotions to transfer. And when the person that's dealing with the health issue and they see the caretaker break, that affects them even more. They're already dealing with it, but it affects them even more, and it brings them down. It brings them down to a low place,
Mm-hmm.
and it affects them in numerous ways. And people sometimes don't think about it, because even when I was changed, even just the other night, if you don't mind me telling, just the other night when I had to change, he had a little scare, and I was changing his dressing. And they were like, "Look, stop, stop," because you're magnifying it bigger than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He was making it bigger than what it was, and it wasn't just because of what was going on at that moment. It was probably because of the whole thing, and it was all just piling up. And I had to stop and call his mom, like, dude, just don't do nothing. Just you're good, relax. And it was just like you gotta be that rock, be able to be that rock for that person, and don't forget about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, honestly, I was concerned about last night because of where the incident, where the scar was, and when you do PD, and as far as all the training that I got, stuff like that's not supposed to happen in the area, and I thought it was, you know, stuff that was going on, because once you get infected with that, there's a thing called, I think it's called peritoneal something. And what that does is it affects your body and it gets in your bloodstream, and it's not pretty. And what that starts to do, it begins to eat your insides if you allow those germs and stuff to get in there. So I became very concerned, because what I thought was that the insertion where they had my tube, I thought that was bleeding. I thought that was open, but I couldn't see it. What she didn't know was that I couldn't actually see it. All I saw was all the stuff that was going
no, I
on.
knew he couldn't see it.
And so that's why I
That's
was
why I
freaking
had to
out,
reassure
because
him
yeah,
that it was okay.
yeah. So I couldn't
And that's
see
how
it.
God does us. When we go through things, he sees it, but he sees the end of it. He knows the end of it.
Right.
He goes beyond what we're looking at. And because he's looking out over us, he's there with us in it. Though he's there with you in it, but he sees the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're in it, I don't know why God is taking me this, but we cloud our judgment. Our vision gets clouded. Our vision gets a one-track mind. We get tunnel vision. And that's what happens when you're in the midst of situations that however you allow it to affect you, however it tries to affect you, however things try to latch onto you, sometimes it clouds your judgment. It plays with your mind. You get one track mind, you get tunnel vision. When I mean like tunnel vision, like, you know, when you're driving and you're on these long road trips, and then all of a sudden you know you're the main one driving, you just looking and you just be like, it's like you find a spot on the road that you just staring at, and you don't even really realize it, because it's like you just cruising, you just going through or whatever. So you get tunnel vision, that you forget you still got to look out for the other drivers around you. You still got to look out just in case you know, something else is coming, the car's in front of you. And that's how we do, and how we get when we have situations, when we're in the midst of things. And as he was saying, was that, yeah, he couldn't see it, but I could. So I was his eyes for that moment. But I had to be, okay, his comforter too. I had to be his support too at the same time. And then remember that it feels different, because he was even feeling something. He was saying that it was feeling funny in that area in a way that it shouldn't feel. So I had to remember too, that yeah, as I'm helping him understand where so we just really got to remember, when we're taking care of loved ones, when we're taking care, whether it's a spouse or our parent or whoever, we got to remember to try to understand both sides, try to understand both perspectives, and just thank God that you're in the position to be able to help. Just thank God that he's equipped you to be able to help.
Yeah.
And if he's using you to solicit help or to get somebody else, whatever, just know that as long as you allow God to take care of you all, you will be okay.
Right. That's true. Honestly, Carla kind of took over this segment.
I'm sorry.
But she is totally right. But you're right though. That's totally right. You know, we just have to, I mean, like, but from the person that goes through, you have to think about, you know, the mental, I believe it's the mental state.
Yeah.
It's the mental state. And I know some of y'all who are watching can understand, especially with the sickness that you go through. It's the mental state. We know we got a Lord who we serve. We know that Jesus is our healer. We understand that. But when you go through the pain,
Yeah.
and when you go through this stuff, I mean, some days you just be like, Lord have mercy, you know, and you have to remember, because one day you able to get up and you able to go out there and do what you're supposed to do every day, get out there and play basketball with the kids. And then the next, dang, I can't even move. You know, now I got to sit down. Now I got to do this. So it's a whole life change.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, what I had to learn with me is that, yeah, even though like my brother said earlier that God got to sit you down out of love, sometimes, you know, when God sits you down on the love, it's teaching us on what we got to do. It's teaching us on how to do things differently, on how to approach life differently, or how to approach things differently. It's teaching us how to do that, or it's teaching us that, hey man, you know what? It may be a lesson in all of this. You need to learn that you can't do everything by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because I told my wife, I said, man, I'm so used to doing everything by myself. I'll get it done myself. And God is saying, no, you need to understand on how to ask people for help and understand that you need help too, sir. So, you know, God teaches us in so many ways. And so going on to the next segment, because I don't want to leave you one. I pray to God that light do not do that again. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh no, I think it's because I accidentally touched the cord.
So going into the next.
She said on Facebook comment, Ashley says that yes, the mental state is something.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm telling y'all, man.
She just added another one. I'm sorry. Said from experience, I learned to slow down and literally couldn't be Superwoman. I had to ask for help, and it's something I wasn't used to. Exactly.
Yep, you got it. You got to, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. Trust me, it for a man like me, like myself, that always used to go and help people. It is hard for me, but I'm learning. It's humbling me, but it's hard for me to sit up there and ask my mom to help me with my sons, because I either can't pick them up or I can't do something because I'm in pain, or either hard to depend on my wife to do something. It's hard to just sit there watching them work while I'm laying down because I'm hurting. You know, that's hard for me because I'm not used to that. I'm the one that's used to getting up, walking around doing this. I'm the one that's getting stuff done. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. If I say I'm going to fix something on the house, I'm going to fix it. If I say I'm going to go and start something, I'm going to do it myself. But God is saying, no, you're going to need help. And you got 4 boys. So, you know, Joshua and Jeremiah, you got to put them to work. And so that's another thing.
And I know some people say, that sometimes we too hard on them, or let them be kids. Yeah, we let them be kids.
Yeah,
but it's time too to understand what's going on.
Right.
Because our whole thing is that we have not, and I've been real with, I have not sugarcoated anything when telling them, you know, how stuff is or what's going on. If they ask questions, I'll ask them. We don't sugarcoat it because one, we ain't finna let the world teach them, as he said before many times on different episodes, that we not finna let them, you know, experience and be taught by the world. That's not the job. That's our job. That's our job to train them up in the way they should go. So yeah, they got to do some stuff. And it's the whole thing of learning responsibility. It ain't like we trying to make them go get a job.
Right.
You know, we ain't saying go do that or nothing like that. But no, you have help around you. Don't push it away.
Yeah.
We have help around you. Don't ignore the help and just be able to receive it, because it's always for a bigger picture. Because for those of us in ministry, we can't do ministry by ourselves.
No.
It ain't just us. You're going to need people. Mm-hmm. It's the whole thing. It's a connection thing. Kingdom building. It's a connection thing. Mm-hmm. It's different gifts and different talents, but it's all for one purpose.
All for one purpose.
It's all in the word. I have to find where it is. I think it's Ephesians. But you have that, and we have to remember that it's always, every time that God allows us to deal with something, that God has to go through something, it's usually not just one lesson.
Yeah.
There's multiple lessons and multiple things that he's trying to teach us and for us to get out of it. Mm-hmm. Whether it's for us individually, and usually it is first, that is for us individually to understand first, as well as for somebody else to see.
Right.
Because it's not just about him.
No.
It ain't just about me. it's a whole bigger picture to all of this that he's dealing with and that we all go through. The effects that each one of us have, the different roles that we have. Because as I said before, when Lady Sabrina brought this topic up to me, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how we're gonna talk about that," and not even realizing, "Girl, you're doing that now."
But
And
then,
that was mainly because she said a parent,
yeah,
but it was still, I was like, but I get it because it's the same thing.
yeah.
The love that you have for your spouse, love that you have for your parent, it's all out of love that we do these things. It's
But
all out of
and that's what I wanted to get to in the next segment, because the first we were talking about, and this one is about spousal support, right? So in this next segment, I wanted us to get into, well, how do you, because I know she was saying, how do you keep the relationship on, fire, or how do you keep the relationship burning
just strong.
while you're taking care of your mother or your father?
And that goes to
And so
Barbara's comment that she on YouTube. She said that it's very hard taking care of parents because they think you are the child and what they say goes, and that's because they're not used to it.
Yeah,
the roles are switched. They're not used to it, and I only reason why I could say that, one, is because, well, my mama did that to me the other day, but the only way I could say that, one, is because my somebody that I know, she made that same statement, who's taking care of her mom. She's making her doctor's appointments. She's driving her to the appointments and everything. And she made that comment the other day that said that she forgot, like, yeah, she I'm not doing that. And she like, I understand, but now it's my turn to take care of you. And that's the perspective that she has and keeps, is that it's my turn. You've done so much for us already, so now it's my turn, to do what you. And sometimes some parents, they just, and it's not to be mean, it ain't pride. Sometimes it is pride, but it's just they're not used to that, because to them you're still their child.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of dudes say that those who have daughters, they'll be like, no matter what, however old she gets, she's still my baby girl. And that's how it is, because like, I birthed it. This, I'm supposed to be taking care of you. That's you take care of me, and that's a hard thing to go. That's a hard thing to accept.
Oh, I know. I thought
Okay.
somebody else.
Now I was reading her Barbara's comment. She said, "God will sit you down. He did it for me out of love." Then she said that she said, preaching to the choir, I suffer with muscle spasms, and that she attends PT 3 times a week, physical therapy, for those who might not know what that was. And she said, if it had not been for the Lord on her side, where would I be? And sometimes that sounds so cliche or so typical for people to say, and you be like, oh, you churchy. No, that's the truth. That's the truth. Because like you said a few minutes ago earlier, that if it had not been for God, that you don't think you would have been here. And it's just facts, and that's it's facts.
It's facts, man.
It's facts.
It's facts. I mean,
facts.
But then answering the question as far as how to keep the relationship burning, for one, and this is what the topic where we on is. If everybody know where we're going, is that how do you keep the relationship going between husband and wife while taking care of a loved one, like a mother or a father who's living with you because they're with the sickness. And I believe that was the question that Lady Sabrina had. And that's how she worded it. Yes. So I wanted to start with that first, because I know we're going through stuff as far as spousal, but when you are, first and foremost, I can tell you right now, I can understand how difficult that could be, as far as when you're trying to keep the fire of the marriage lit, but at the same time you're trying to take care of a mother or a father, because the need can sometimes, I would say, have people forget. And if it gets bad, because in this sense, it would get bad if the man is not on the same page with the woman, meaning that if she's taking care of her mother, moved in, and at first he was with it, but now he getting irritated. But that's when things kind of get iffy there, because with him, he, and to be honest with you, with him, he would have to really go to God, because first of all, sir, you really agreed to, for her to stay, or for that parent to stay. But however, we can't say, well, I'm just tired, so I'm just I'm just in this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. The thing is that a married couple have to understand that this is also a better or worse moment. So you two may not be sick, but the parent may be sick, and the parent may have to stay with you for a while or for some time, which it could test your marriage. And the thing is that what we have to understand, when we are believers in God and when we are believers in the Lord, God will test us in any kind of way. Okay, not tempt, but test. He will test us. And so when we understand, we have to pass that test. So even if we started together and then later on, man, you spending too much time taking care of your parent, you spending too much time taking care of your mom and your dad, man, I'm tired of this, man, we need to go out. Instead of complaining, what you should do is, after the fact, when that parent is being taken care of, assist your wife or husband in taking care of. Then after that, what you do is plan ahead. There may be some other family members that can come and maybe say, or sisters and brothers that maybe say, hey, let me watch for a little bit. Or what you could do is just go ahead and fix a dinner in the kitchen, go ahead and do something, because it may not be time for you to travel right now. And see, when we get to a place of selfishness, that's when it gets hard. We make it get hard for our relationships. We make it get hard. And as a matter of fact, this also goes for people who are not married, people who's helping with a parent and they just getting frustrated. We get it. Taking care of people gets frustrated. We understand, but you have to understand that there is a time and a season that God will give that person to you, and because first of all, God knows that, for one, that you are the right person to do the job and help this person out. But for two, it's something that God is dealing with you about, and that's what we have to look at it. But as far as in a relationship go, honestly, I would say, and I'm going to give it over to my wife, but honestly, I would say that, once we make that decision as a married couple to take care of a loved one, then we got to ride it to the end. If you get frustrated, you need to go to God in prayer, because once we get frustrated, that's the flesh trying to take over. Because watch this. The flesh don't care about taking care of nobody else. The flesh cares about itself. Mm-hmm. So when we get to that place of saying, look, it's me, I'm tired of this, then that's you. Now you're out of God's spirit, and now we are within ourselves. And so we have to be careful in that area, because there are so many ways and so many things that a married couple can do to keep their marriage aflame in the home.
You just gotta, and a lot of times they struggle with that because they don't normally do it before that. They don't normally do stuff that's creative. They don't think of other things. They're so used to routine,
right?
To certain things that you forget. What about that? What about this? Just same thing as earlier. Take a moment. Take time. Take a night off and just say, hey, if you especially, like he said, do something in the home. You can't leave the house because of the person that you're taking care of. Set something up at the house. You can have the most bum diggityest time and the bestest of time, at the house.
Right.
You could do that this wasn't with anybody being sick or nothing, but for 1 year for my birthday. He set up something at the house. We didn't go nowhere.
That's because of that winter storm, man.
No, Lord. But
I'm just saying.
Okay, so we couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't go to the original plan, but he could have just left it alone and not done nothing at all. But yet he did something in the house and still had the best of time as if you were going out somewhere. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole thing when you're taking care. When it's a married couple taking care of a parent. Or whether you're married, and it might just be the husband or the wife taking care of the parent. Always remember to set time aside for your marriage. You can't let that be put on the back burner.
And if brothers, and this I say this to the men, if you are getting frustrated, how is your wife gonna know? If you're getting frustrated, if you don't say nothing. You gotta have a conversation. It's all
Yes,
about
Lord.
communication. If you're getting frustrated, walking out of the house ain't gonna help nothing.
At all.
Having an attitude ain't gonna help nothing.
At all. And then ladies, that go for us too, because sometimes we quick to pop off, with attitudes too.
It's not gonna help, man.
Matter of fact, I want Barbara to comment. Because she said she's been married 40 something years, over 40 years, and having to take care of both sets of parents. What was your experience, or how did your spouse handle that? So I'm gonna give her a moment to comment on that end, on that perspective. But that's but that's true. Take time, take moments, do things that you guys can do, whether you can get away for a quick little bit, an hour or two or something at the house, whatever. Just don't let it die.
Right.
The marriage will be tested and tried, but you can't let it die.
Right, you can't let it die.
If you both got to be willing to work and balance out and try to do things. And if you see the one, they the main one taking care of the parent, and you not, then you come up with the stuff for y'all to go do. Don't just put it on that person. They already dealing with enough taking care of the parent. So you take on that part.
And then when you come up with something, after, just pull it to the side, or either y'all go to another room or go into your bedroom and talk about it. Say, hey, I got an idea. Can we do this day? And just say, oh no, because so-and-so got an appointment. Oh, okay, well, let's plan around that. You have to be positive. What I've learned with being sick is you got to be positive at all times, because everything else can be so negative that you can destroy yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, with marriage, we have to understand we destroy ourselves in marriage. We destroy the relationship because sometimes we get to thinking about, okay, I. But we have to understand that with marriage, man, life is marriage. And this is why it's good to always yield to God, because why? Jesus is life. And I will always say that. He is life, and he knows how to handle life. We don't have the answers. He does. So when we yield and pray to him, he gives us the answers on how to handle life. And I know some people are like, well, it's not that easy. Well, that means your faith ain't there. The thing is it's just something. You got to have faith. And the thing with marriage is, and what I've learned in my 14 years of being married, is that, dude, nothing will never be perfect. I did not think that I would have a kidney disease. I did not think that my daddy will be dead right now. I did not think that I would lose another family member. I did not think that my mom would have to stay with me right now. I did not think none of this stuff. All of these are curveballs. All of these are things that I'm pretty sure me and my wife, we probably want to go on cruises and stuff. Is that the time to do that right now? No, it is not. But who's to say that it won't happen? The thing is, we have to understand that there is a time and a place for everything. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean you got to shut down. You just have to go with the flow of life, and go with life with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because when you get into an argument, when you start getting selfish thoughts, you start pointing the finger, all it's going to do is cause more stress. And stress causes the messed up organs. Stress causes the high blood pressure, all this other stuff that leads to other sicknesses. And so that's what we have to understand, is that, dude, just sit down and talk about it. When we get frustrated with things, like, man, I don't want to do this. I'm waiting for that. Man, I'm telling you, that's the worst attitude to have, because at the end of and I know it's not easy, y'all. I'm not saying that it's not easy. God never promised us an easy life. He said that he will help us get through. You see what I'm saying? He'll help us get through life, but it's never going to be easy. Stuff is always going to happen. And so with us being in a we put the parents, but
she put the parents to bed.
Yeah, but I know sometimes, man, like, I understand that, sometimes things can get frustrating. But what I don't ever agree with is to take it out on your spouse because you're frustrated with what life is throwing at you. That's not how you gonna blame your spouse to what life is throwing at you. You can't do that. You got to stick together.
And people do that though, y'all.
Man,
I don't understand. People gotta stop that.
Come
You
on,
gotta
man.
stop that.
Come
It
on,
ain't
man.
like they asked for it. Trust
Get
me,
it
they did
together.
not ask for it.
Come
They
on.
didn't want it. They
They
don't
didn't
want
want
it.
that. Shoot.
Jeez, yes.
It's you. It's you. Ah! Like, no, bro, calm down, man. Go look in the mirror. You know, and that's what, you know, we have to, or she said, what she said,
So we
dinner.
had dinner on a patio with string lights and candles.
See, that's lovely. That's lovely, but that's good. I hope y'all
Let's
taking
get it
notes.
on.
But that's good though, because you can't. Really,
No, it's play-
but you know, I mean, but that's good though,
Yeah.
because you know, again, man, why I don't understand if you say that you love this person for better or for worse, then why, when life throw you something, you can't handle it? So now, when the worst comes, you walking out the door, huh? That
Yeah.
don't make sense. I mean, you lying on what you were saying at the altar in front of God and the whole family.
If you can walk out the door when life get tough, when marriage get tough, especially over something like that, like this, you was wanting to leave anyway.
Yeah, man, come on.
You were wanting to leave anyway, and you just using that as your excuse to leave. That's
Telling you.
that's all that was. You were wanting to leave anyway. So it's
Don't
when people
do
do that, they was wanting to leave anyway.
Man, you can have a dinner at the house, go on a walk, get to know one another, continue to, even when your mom and them sleep, shoot, y'all got the house to yourself still. It's your house, do something. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, it's really not that difficult. It depends on how you yourself are willing to fight for your marriage.
Yeah.
It depends on what are you willing to fight
How
for.
much effort you gonna
That's
put
not,
in there?
hey man, look, hey, taking care, if my wife had to take care of her, prime example. We're gonna use that as an example. We were supposed to do this live last Friday, and I could have got mad at my wife. I could have said, man, why you gotta go take care of your mama, man? Shoot, can she wait? Shoot, she can have your sister do it. Man, bunk all that. I didn't say none of that. I said, no, what we gonna do? I said, we're gonna do this video outside, and we're gonna let everybody know we're gonna do live on another day because you have to go take care of your mother. And the thing is, I understand where she is because I would want her to understand the same thing if I gotta take care of my mama. The thing is, man, what people gotta understand is that don't mean that my love decreased. You know what I'm saying?
Compromise.
You know, and the fact,
and using common sense and wisdom.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, man.
The Bible says to honor your parents.
Yes. even when you get married, you still honor them.
Just because you got married, I don't mean that you cut them off or nothing like that. No, you still honor your parents. You love them. You do what you got to do.
So if you find yourself, and I'm gonna say this, if you find yourself getting frustrated at your spouse because she's taking care of her mother, you need to go to God and ask God, what's wrong with me? God asked me, you need to ask God to cleanse my heart with hyssop, renew a right spirit within me. Because right now, I'm gonna tell you, your spirit ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. I would have been a fool to get mad at my wife because she had to go help my mother and we couldn't do the live last week. That is not of God. You see, right now, we're here doing the live right now. And that's what people have to understand in marriages, is that it's not all about you. It's about what needs to be done at that moment, what needs to be taken care of. And you can always come back and do something together. But if you act like a child and say, man, me, I'll come first. Me. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, you okay. Mm-hmm. We understand that. Okay. That's good. Just keep doing what you got to do, though. God got you take care of your parents. Do it. Because at the end of the day, God will reward you. And God will show that husband or wife that, hey, man, you need to get it together. And if you are single and you're taking care of a parent and, your friends want you to hang out or your family wants you to hang out, but you say you can't because you got to take care of your mom, God see that.
I wish your friend was on here.
Adrian,
no.
Brandon.
Well, and no, Adrian too. I forgot about Adrian.
Yeah,
But
Adrian, he
Brandon
took
was
care.
on here too.
Adrian, y'all, man, look,
To take care of somebody, to be single and to take care of, because they could definitely, and that's speaking from guys' perspectives. To be able to talk on that, on the experience of doing that.
I wish I could have him on here because that young man, Brandon, sacrificed everything. Even he stayed in the hood with his grandmother, and he could have moved out, but he stayed until she passed away. I think it was last year. God rest her soul. And I know Adrian took care of his mom and dad. Took care of both of them. He stayed with his mom and dad. And people are like, man, why are you still living with your parents? You don't know. You don't know why he's still living with his parents. You know? And, you know, his mom was dealing with a sickness. His dad was dealing with sickness. And guess what? His mom passed away some years back. And his dad passed away, I believe it was last year. He lost both his parents. While he was, Adrian is what, around, he's younger than me. So he lost his parents at a young age. And he stayed with them because he knew they needed help. But somebody could have said, oh, man, you know, you're doing this. And the same thing with Brandon. I don't want to put his business out there, but I mean, they chopped that young man up because the grandmother put everything in Brandon's name because she took care of him. And the whole family just talked down on him. One of his family members tried to put a curse on his marriage because he married a young lady right now and tried to put a curse on marriage. So you ain't gonna make it nowhere. It's like it doesn't make sense how the way people react. But not knowing that this young man stayed in Houston helping his grandmother, you know, helping his grandmother, and when he would ask for help and tell them to come down and hey, come help, or no, you got it, Brandon. You continue to help mama, and we'll be all right. Oh, okay. Brandon was like, that's fine. But then when the time comes, when it's time to come for everybody to get paid, oh, why grandma put everything in your name? And she wasn't doing it to get on nobody's nerves. It was the fact that she knew that her grandson was the only one there helping her, taking her to all the doctor's appointments. When she was sick, when he could have been out having a good time with his wife and stuff like that, he sacrificed. And so, you know, a lot of people, like I say, people who are selfish like that and people who come around, that's just not right. You know, we have to make sure that we have a heart and understand that when people do need help, they need help. Okay, because all these people in the world, it's too many people in this world right now that have cold hearts. And especially like what Jesus was saying about all the people having cold hearts and everything. I mean, come on, man. But we got to do better, guys. And I guess on that, we just got to do better. We just got to do better. And that's just it. You know, I don't believe in people throwing people under the bus or, you know, people trying to treat people bad. Just because they're taking care of somebody and because the sickness is getting overwhelming that they were like, man, Buck, I don't agree with that. But I know life can be hard. And you know, it's already enough people out there that don't care already. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say I can honor, like I can honor my auntie, you know, she helped grandma, she helped papa, she helped a lot of people, you know, and everything. You know, we have to honor those who helped. It don't matter what they went through. It's just we have to honor that. You know, we don't know what somebody go through, but we at least have to honor that. You feel what I'm saying? Let's honor that, and then make sure we respect those who Brandon can't give out the book. I'm telling you, man, y'all. If I could tell y'all half the stuff they said about this boy, that's my boy too, man. I love him, and he's like a brother to me. If I could tell you, I wish he was on here as a guest because I would tell you. He can tell y'all what he been through. And he got some stories, man. The little the little red hen. I mean, for real, man. And it's real out there. And unfortunately, man, that's how. And we're not talking about strangers. We're talking about family members doing him like that. Family members, his own aunt and uncle, hauling him You know, I ain't gonna put this business out there. You know, whatever. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna know. It's a lot more that happened. Trust me. He told me a lot more, but I'm not putting it out there. I'm just giving y'all an inch. But I love him and I pray for him. You know, he's strong. You know, now he's married. You know, starting a new family, and blessings to him. But anybody who does that, man, you know, like I said, man, we have to honor that. And if you are married and you see your spouse taking care of that person, don't get an attitude. And this is those who are watching on Facebook. Sister Sabrina, I don't know if she's there or not, but if that's happening, then you know, just things need to be said out, need to be talked. The husband needs to be honest with what's going on. And then see, and if it's disrespectful, the answers that he give you or whatnot, then you got to go and pray and see, okay, God, what do you need me to do next? You know, because the thing is that it is nothing wrong with you taking care of your mother. Please do not let that be a guilt. But at the same time, there are things that you guys can do as a married couple that can help you, and that it can bring you into a place of helping you in knowing what you can do, how you can handle it. We can have dinner outside. We can go on a walk. We can do something. There are things that we can do instead of bashing one another. And so, you know, we just have to raise up and be unified. You know, you want to add something to that? Because I know you sitting back chilling.
Nah, you good, bro. You good. No. But just to put this out there too, so in case anybody try to be messy or start something or whatever, she said no, that there's nothing going on. That was just a topic to bring up because that's just a situation that she's in.
That's why I say if.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying in case anybody else who knows me and knows her, as she was just she was just giving a topic, because that's something that she's dealing with right now, that she's doing right now. So if she was able to come in, I'm sure she would, to say probably what they are doing or whatever, and she was probably just trying to get suggestions to do other things or whatnot. So anytime we talk about anything on here, 9 out of 10 is we 10 times out of 10 we talking about our stuff, our business, our stuff that we're going through. Definitely. And it's never to bash anybody. It's never to say anything wrong against anybody or to be messy or anything like that. So just make sure that if you watch it, it's just an encouragement session. Amen.
That's all it is. Yeah. Nothing against nobody. It's all an encouragement session.
I'm asked us to sit down in a quiet place, uninterrupted, and experience real talk.
Real talk.
Yeah.
100% real talk. For real, man. Like, yeah, I mean, and not to say that they and I will say this, I wasn't saying that they were having issues, but since she did ask the question, that's why I stated that. And it's okay. That's one thing that, you know, this should be a topic too. And I believe that's one thing that we got to start talking about as married people, is when we overcome, or if we are going through something, do not be afraid to reach out to someone that possibly could have went through with the same thing you're going through, because you can get the answer. Too many times us as Christians, and this was not on the segment, but I don't know why I'm going this way, but too many times us as Christians, we always act like we are untouched or nothing is going on in our lives. And so what ends up happening is when we do that, we're constantly being attacked. But if we would just open our mouths and be honest, it's a church out there called Transformation Church, and they call it We Want to Be Hot, humble, open, and transparent. And when you are doing that, you're able to defeat the enemy, because now you're able to hear what God has done in other people's lives. But the longer you hold back and the longer you lie, and the longer you just like, oh, we perfect and all this stuff. And it's not to say put everything out, but ask questions. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when you are delivered from something, don't be afraid to share the testimony, because that's what the testimony is for, you know. Or if you are going through something, okay, well, just ask the question and do that. But that's what we got to do as married couples. And of course, that could be another topic for another time. I'm reaching right now. So tonight it is okay. So I'm gonna end that right here on tonight. I thank you all for tuning in. Those who are on Facebook, if you on Facebook and you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to TJ's 100% Real Talk on YouTube. It would help out. It would be such a blessing. Make sure you subscribe. There is no such thing as perfect. It's a myth. You sure right. It's a myth among us, but it's not a myth in God. Come on now.
Wow.
Because God is the only one. Jesus is the only one. Jesus had to show men how to act. So Jesus is the only one that was perfect. The Holy Spirit. All three. Should we teaching that in Bible study right now? The Holy Trinity. You know, learning to be close with God. Don't let see. I'm going to another one. So, so look, and we one day we you know what we got to get into that too, because that's a lot of it's a lot of disturbing things out there in the world of people not understanding who Christ really is, and y'all, I'm telling y'all, if you really want to go deeper into you know, or those who want to learn more about Christ, or those who want to dig deeper into his names and learning things about Jesus, we are having a Zoom Bible study every Wednesday night, and being taught by Bishop-elect Ricky Taylor about Jesus, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And it is such a blessing. I don't care how long you've been saved. It is such a blessing. You can use it and help somebody else to understand, because I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It is a lot of confusion out there on what a Christian is. And I'm gonna say that again. It is a lot of confusion on what a Christian is and what it is to believe in Jesus. It's a lot of confusion out there, y'all. And so we gotta get back to the basics of who Jesus is, who the Holy Spirit is, who God is. It's so much confusion. There's so much confusion. And if you guys want to know more about that, tune in on the Bible study. As a matter of fact, this coming Wednesday, I'm going to make sure I leave a link into TJ's 100% Real Talk on the page. I'm gonna leave a link next Wednesday for the Bible study so you can tune in. And I mean, it's awesome. Me and my wife, we're always on there, and it's really awesome. Also, we're gonna try to see if I can get the recordings of the previous episodes so you guys can check it out. Because again, I'm not saying you guys who watch it, but somebody else might need to know the deeper meaning of being a Christian, the deeper meaning of Jesus. They might need to know this stuff. And I've talked to some people, they want to know. So it's never wrong to, or never bad to just relearn or learn some of this stuff. What else? Okay, so next Friday is going to be Easter, I believe, right? No, it's not. It is. Yeah, next is Good Friday next week. And yes, we're going to have a Friday night live. So we are going to be live on that Friday. We are going to be doing, I'm believing we're going to be doing a special episode. Now, we haven't been in the area of relationship. I know that Ashley had told you about our episode. So if we can do the one where she was talking about, we can do that the following Friday, if you don't mind.
Whichever you want to do, Block.
Are you okay with that?
Whatever.
That's all I did there.
It's called TJ's.
Really? Don't
not
do
us.
Don't do that.
No. Whatever you want to do.
No, so we can do that.
God leads you.
Next week, I would like for us to kind of hit up on the area of still a relationship, but what's in my heart is relationship with Christ, as far as even whether you're married or not. Like, what does that truly mean as far as in a marriage, and what does it truly mean being single? What does that mean, especially with all the stuff we've been talking about? We talked about finances. We talked about, I'm trying to remember other stuff we talked about. Children, life before, all these things, and how God operates in marriage. If you haven't seen any of that, you can go back and watch it on anchor.com, and you can go and watch it on YouTube. But we talked about all these things, but I really believe that what would it mean to be in a relationship with someone that don't believe in God, and how important it is to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, Like not just saying I go to church, but I'm talking about deliberately have a relationship, but in a marriage. Okay, having Christ as the head. So I really want to get into that because a lot of people, it's just a lot of stuff going on there, y'all. And so I want to get into that. Invite somebody, and we want to get deep down into it. We want to get deep down into it and everything to make sure that we understand that, hey man, with God all things are possible, and without God, well, man, I don't understand how y'all. You just gotta have God. So with that being said, that's about it. But you guys enjoy, and then we're gonna meet on Good Friday of next week, and we're gonna discuss those things as far as being covered under God in a marriage, and what does that mean to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, being married, and also for the single people as well. We're gonna do that for the single people too. So have two different segments, one for the married and one for single. And do that, and we're gonna just express that in that way, and just move forward. And then the next week, we're gonna discuss on how did she word it?
Being saved, single, and the streets be calling.
Yeah, so that will be the following Friday after Easter. So we want to, after Easter, that'll be the following Friday, and then that way this will be good because it'll help us transition into another topic, because if y'all notice, for the past 2 months we've been in relationships. That's what God had us. So right now we're going to get into these things, get into the next segments and everything, and see what God else want to hit, because y'all remember, this is TJ's 100% Real Talk, and we talk about life situations and encouraging people with the
Word
of God. That's what we do. So you guys stay blessed. Enjoy your Friday. Until we meet again, thank you guys for watching on Facebook. Thank you guys for watching on here. Guys, make sure you also tune in to Final Touch Jewels on Saturday at
7:30.
7:30. Buy these jewels.
And Mondays at 7:30. Yeah, y'all come on now, because I need to know.
Get on there, man. Get on these
got
jewels.
some good Mother's Day gifts, some good birthday gifts.
Mother's Day coming up.
Some good just because gifts for the kings and the queens. So.
And some of these jewels will go hard for Easter. You want to turn up for Easter.
Listen,
man.
you need something. Check your girl out. Check your girl out. Just send me a picture of what you're wearing or your idea of what you want to wear. I'm going to hook you up.
That's a great idea. Yeah, send a picture of, hey, I'm wearing this. We got you. You know what I'm saying? Send it to a page, to the Final Touch Jewel page. Send it to a page. So, guys, until we meet again, y'all take it easy. Stay blessed. Enjoy your Friday. Peace.
See y'all next week for the next live episode of 100% Real Talk.
So I got that muscle. Y'all see the strong arm? That's the realness.
Yeah, Ashley strong arm.
That's realness. It's realness.
Oh, wait.
It's realness. It's realness.
I got it inflated. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Lord.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Peace.